yummy, gooey brownies using my sourdough discard. I'm going to make these a little healthier than what the recipe calls for. Hey everyone, so glad to have you here today. So today I'm going to be trying for the first time a recipe I found in my favorite place, Pinterest. And what am I making? Yummy, gooey brownies using my sourdough discard. If you, like me, love making sourdough bread, you know that in feeding your sourdough starter, you always have some discard to use. So I'm always looking for new recipes and I have yet to be disappointed. Well, this one is for chocolate brownies, guys. I'm super excited about it. Today is a cheat day for us, so we are eating a little bit off plan. However, I'm going to make these a little, not completely, but a little healthier than what the recipe calls for. When you are wanting to make changes in your nutrition, in your eating, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. It doesn't have to be specifically chicken and green shit, all right? You can enjoy the things that you like to eat still, just making some modifications. And I'm not talking about sacrificing taste. If I want brownies, I want them to taste like brownies. So these modifications are gonna be very small, but they're still gonna have an impact. It all adds up at the end of the day. So, got my sourdough discard out. We're ready to see what we need for these chocolate brownies. If you want to go in the description below, check out the recipe for yourself. You can even make it along with me. It is Little Spoon Farm. So it is Father's Day here. We've already had some Texas Roadhouse. How about those rolls? They're so yummy. And I've been telling my husband that I want to make brownies, and I really meant I'm going to make brownies for him. But the truth is, I'm the one that likes the brownies. He likes cake. And when I say cake, I'm not talking about any cake. It has to be white cake, buttercream icing. That's the way he has to have it. So have a look at this. All right, so that is what my husband chose. We love cake, but I told him many times I was making brownies today. He didn't think that was gonna be enough. So he's gonna have this, and then he's gonna eat brownies and he's gonna tell me which was better.
Okay, this is what we're gonna say. It's Father's Day, and I wanted cake, and I don't get to cheat again except one day in the next 54 days. So we're having cake and brownies.
So now I'm gonna put him to the test. I wanna make these for the very first time, hope they turn out, and see if he actually likes them. Now the first thing we gotta do, turn that oven on to 350 degrees so that it can be preheated. Now, some of the things that you're going to need, semi-dark chocolate chips, got my sourdough starter. It calls for regular granulated sugar. This is monk fruit. And I'm telling you, you cannot taste the difference in a recipe. It feels like granulated sugar and it tastes like granulated sugar. Plus, we have got cocoa. It's a double chocolate, isn't it? Because we've got chocolate morsels and we have got cocoa. We're gonna melt the butter first in a saucepan, and then we're gonna add in the chocolate morsels, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and the cocoa. We're gonna stir that all together. We wanna keep stirring it until it's nice and smooth. So let's move everything over there. So I've already taken the liberty of slicing my stick of butter up. It just melts much quicker like that, right? So we wanna get that good and melting. While we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off a piece of parchment paper. I ordered this parchment paper off of Amazon, and I really like it for one reason, and one reason only. Check this out. How smooth is that? I'm gonna take that off the burner just a little bit. Turn that down. Add in these chocolate chips. Stir them a little bit. Ooh, those want to melt quick too. Now we need to add in our 2 teaspoons of vanilla and our cocoa. 40 grams of cocoa. That translates into 12 ounces of chocolate chips and 1/2 cup of cocoa. Now in the beginning, I follow a recipe to a T, right? And I think that's what they're meant for the first time. After the initial time, then you make adjustments to meet your needs, right? To meet your needs, your preferences, your taste. You may live in an area where you don't have as much humidity, and so you might need to add a little more liquid. Or, I don't know, you might be in the Florida Everglades and you've just got more humidity than you know what to do with, and you might need to add a little more flour. It's all up to you, but look how quick that melted for us, guys. Here we go, and this is ready. That was quick. Damn, that chocolate smells good already. Next step, in a large mixing bowl, we're gonna beat the eggs, the sugar, which remember I said is the monk fruit, granulated monk fruit, and the brown sugar together. It says to beat this for 7 to 10 minutes. So this might be a good time for you to go ahead and pause this video because I'm not gonna show all 7 to 10. Watch a little Grey's Anatomy on Hulu or, you know, whatever you wanna do. These go in my compost pile. And again, it is 2 whole eggs and egg yolk. Some of you might do that a lot fancier when you're actually busting up your eggs. That's okay. Now we've added 1 cup of the monk fruit, granulated monk fruit. We're add 1/2 cup or 110 grams of brown sugar. Remember, this is the brown sugar stevia mix or Splenda mix. And then we're gonna beat it with our blender for 7 to 10 minutes. So go watch your Grey's, set your alarm, and I'll see you back in just a moment. That, just so you know, I have never beat anything that long. So now we're supposed to add the chocolate mixture and the sourdough discard. And we're gonna mix that until it's well combined. And I'm just using my spatula. See here, using my spatula and making sure it's all clean because I want it all to go in there. Tell you what, if my mom had had these silicone spatulas, I'd have been one very sad child. Because look, it leaves almost nothing in there to be licking on. Let's get all that in there. There we go. I'll drop the link to these spatulas in my description because I gotta say, I really love them. Now let's get our sourdough discard. I have 1/2 cup of sourdough discard going in. There we go. We're gonna combine that. Mix that all in so it's well combined. Turn it off just for a second. Give it a good scrape on the sides. There we go. So to be sure that's all well incorporated, right? So we have 1 cup of all-purpose flour. We're gonna go ahead and add in 1 teaspoon of salt. Now these, you just want to mix in till it's well incorporated, or you're gonna be doing it by hand with spatula. It does not need to go through the blender. Your mix will end up being really thick. We are done with these dishes, so we can go ahead and put them over here in the sink. I like to clean my kitchen as I go. So I got a lot of people that ask me, you know, is the sourdough thing really that hard? Okay, so my answer is it's as hard or as easy as you want to make it. There's a lot of misconceptions out there that you have to feed it every day. You got to find a babysitter for it if you go out of town. And that's just not true. That was probably true back in the day when, you know, people didn't have access to refrigerators. But you can keep your sourdough starter in the refrigerator, feed it once a week or once every 10 days, you know. And of course, when you feed it, you discard an amount. And yes, you need to discard, or else you're going to end up with a truckload of flour, a truckload of water, and a truckload of starter that you're having to feed every day. But you don't discard does not mean that you have to throw it away, as I'm showing you. It's really good stuff, okay? So you can use and discard, all it is starter that you're not feeding, all right? So you can use it in all kinds of recipes. I've already done pizza crust, pancakes, French toast, and now I'm making brownies. I've got so many things pinned in my Pinterest account that I want to try. And I'll try them all with you guys. Let you see the process and see what you think. I have started using a lot of parchment paper since doing sourdough baking. And I really like it because everything lifts out clean. So you can see how thick this is. I just want to smooth it out so that it's even in the pan. So this is just going to go in the oven now. This is a 9x9 square pan, and it's going to go in the oven now for 35 to 40 minutes. And as you know, this is not cake, it's brownies. So it's not going to pass the toothpick in the center test, okay? The toothpick is not going to come out clean. Brownies are more dense. They're supposed to be moist, right? So take a look at the top. You want to make sure the top is not getting too dry. It should be cracked and soft. So have a look at 35 minutes. If you feel like it needs a little more time, I would go a couple of minutes at a time looking at it. Now I'm going to show you one more trick. My oven is a gas oven, but so my heat comes from the top, also circulates from the bottom. In order to keep this from burning on the bottom, I have got a cookie sheet on the very bottom. What that does is it allows it to not have all of that heat coming up on the bottom and where you actually get it burned or too hard on the bottom of the brownie. I learned that by cooking my sourdough bread. So didn't want my sourdough bread to get too dark on the bottom in the Dutch oven. Started putting that underneath it. Worked like a charm. Before I actually cut this video and just pick it back up when I take it out of the oven, I wanted to talk to you about storing these. Now, you can let them cool completely and then put them in an airtight container, put it in your refrigerator, and it's good for 7 days, all right? So you can eat on these all week. I don't know how they're gonna last that long, but you can. If you want to freeze them, they're also very good to freeze. So you can take the brownies individually, wrap them up in saran wrap, and then put those individual brownies inside a gallon Ziploc bag or another container and put it in your freezer. Good for 3 months in the freezer. When you take it out of the freezer one at a time, you can let them thaw and then pop them in the microwave. You can have some nice warm brownies again. So I guess I'll be seeing you in about 35 minutes. All right, so this is the hardest part. It's the hardest part with bread. It's the hardest part with anything. You're supposed to let it completely cool before you take them out. So I'll see y'all back in a little bit. So it's been a couple of hours and our brownies are finally cooled off. So have a look. So I'm about to show you what's really cool about using parchment paper as opposed to flour and shortening. Alrighty, let me just get the plate that I want to take these out onto. So does it matter that it's a Christmas plate? I don't think so. We're gonna go ahead and put it down there. All right, so check this out. You ready? I don't think you're ready. I'm gonna show you. Parchment paper. Parchment paper. What? How cool is that? No issues. Look, out of the pan. Parchment paper, it's your friend. Now we're just going to take that off the bottom. Remember how I told you that I put the pan underneath there to keep it from getting hard or burning on the bottom? Oops. Check that out. It's perfect. Let's cut this baby up. What? Y'all, I can smell it. Let's have a look. Can you see that? How amazing does that look? Perfect, right? Smells amazing. The monster has to wait to get his. He's out doing something, but I think I should test it out now. Shouldn't I? Don't you think I should try it now? I do. I think so. Guess what? Gonna. This looks like a good dish for it. Y'all, it's so fudgy. I mean, this is the perfect brownie consistency. I cooked mine exactly 35 minutes, by the way. Because I like it warm, I'm going to pop it in the microwave 15 seconds. I think some butter pecan ice cream would be good with it. What do you think? Y'all, it's just so damn soft. Yeah, don't worry about what's pretty. It's going in my mouth. All right. The perfect bite. has to have ice cream, chocolate, and of course brownie all in the spoon together, right? It's very good. Now we're just waiting on the monster to come try his, but right off the bat, I do like to have walnuts, pecans, almonds, something in my brownie. So I'll probably do that next time. I think you could also use, if you're a blondie kind of person, of course, you could use some, let's say, still use the cocoa, but instead of the semi-sweet chocolate chips, use toffee chips. How good would that be? Thank you, blondie. This is the good stuff. I rate things by, is it good enough that you would bake it for a friend and leave it? This is that. Okay, I have waited all day. This man is too busy to even try a beautiful brownie.
Baby, I got a world championship match coming up. I've been training. But this is perfect post-workout.
But have a look at that first. Look at it. Tell us how it smells.
It does smell really good.
Okay.
It looks really good too, look. Damn. That's really good.
So you're not going to blow me off next time I say I'm making you brownies?
No, ma'am.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you would
That
like.
actually tastes really good.
Well, good. Let me know what recipes you would like for me to try for you. And as always, catch you next time.